Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Tarps Off and review for the March 5th NHL Games. So 9 games on the docket. We're going to start for the Stars and the Sharks. Got my Stars jersey on here. Chris Tanev's debut with Dallas. So in the first period, Anthony Duclair opens up the scoring at 3:22 from Zetterlund and Eklund on the power play. Zetterlund would score one of his own at 12:04 from Duclair and Ruda. Dallas would answer at 18:38. Jamie Benn scoring from Heiskanen and Robertson on the power play. They would tie it up at 19:27 in the first from Stankoven. He scores from Heiskanen and Johnston on the power play. Second period, at 4:39, Ryan Carpenter scores from Nico Sturm and Vlasic. Wyatt Johnston would tie it up again at 8:48 from Jamie Benn and Dellandrea. Excuse me. At 15:48, Duclair scores from Zetterlund and Granlund on the power play. Zadina would extend the lead at 17:50 from Hoffman and Addison. Third period, Michael Granlund scores from Duclair at 3:02. Dallas would come storming back at 12:58. Stankoven scores from Johnston. Johnston would score from Stankoven and Jamie Benn at 13:41. 15:42, Johnston scores from Heiskanen and Benn. And then in overtime, Roope Hintz completes the comeback at 1:49 from Stankoven and Heiskanen. Dallas takes it 7-6 in overtime. Alright, Blackhawks and Coyotes. So in the first period, Chicago scores. It's Seth Jones scoring at 10:54 from Connor Bedard and Tyler Johnson on the power play. Second period, at 2:07, Nick Bukes scores from Matt Dumba. At 4:27, Nick Foligno scores from Bedard and Johnson on the power play. At 11:42, Michael Carcone scores unassisted for the Coyotes. 14:10, Jason Dickinson from Canuck would score from Korchinski and Vlasic on the power play. At 18:35, Khrushchev would score from Foligno and Johnson on the power play. And then in the third period, Seth Jones would score at 19:32 from Jason Dickinson from Canuck into the empty net. Chicago wins their 16th of the year, finally, 5-2 over the Yotes. Alright, Habs and Preds. So in the first period, excuse me, at 15:24, Philip Forsberg scores from Evangelista and Ryan O'Reilly. It's in the first period. Second period at 5:11, Gustav Nyquist scores from Forsberg and O'Reilly. 16:39, Gallagher would score from Jake Evans and Josh Anderson. 16:45, Savard would tie it up from Caulfield and Suzuki. Third period, O'Reilly would score at 12:19 from Gustav Nyquist and Lauzon. Joshua Wall would tie it up at 14:55 unassisted. And then in overtime, 17 seconds in, Suzuki wins it from Caulfield and Matheson. Habs hit that 1-4-3 in overtime. A lot of OT games on this last night, at least. Kraken and Jets. So in the first period, Justin Schultz scores from Ulrich Bjorkstrand and Jared McCann from Canuck at 8:45 of the first. Second period at 8:07, Kyle Connor scores from Scheifele and Nemestikov. Jared McCann would give the Seattle back the lead. Jared McCann from Canuck. Jared McCann would score at 17:56 from Yanni Gorda and Jamie Alexei shorthanded. Sorry, there was a trade notification that I'm not going to get into. Go watch the Hockey Guy for trades, by the way. So 2-1 Seattle halfway through the second. 19:51 of the second, Adam Lowry would score from Appleton and Sandberg to tie it up. Third period, Nino Niederreiter would give the Jets the lead from Appleton and Lowry at 1:17 of the third. Tatar would tie it up at 1:42 from Beniers and Eberle. And then at 17:21, Burakovsky would score from Evans and Jared McCann from Canuck on the power play to give Seattle the 4-3 win there. St. Louis and New York Islanders. In the first period, there's no scoring. Second period, at 1:21, Alexei Toropchenko scores from Jake Neighbors. At 8:30, Jordan Kyrou scores from Brandon Saad and Marco Scandella. 12:32, Kyle Palmieri would score from Pellick and Dobson. 17:47 of the second, Pajot would score from Aho and Lee. Third period, Bo Horvat, former Canuck, would score 55 seconds in from Brock Nelson and Adam Pelech. And then at 19:29, Barzal would score from Brock Nelson and Alexander Romanov into the empty net. The Islanders take it 4-2. Edmonton, Boston, two teams I don't like very much. First period, no scoring. Second period, no scoring. Third period, Zaka scores at 4:26 from Heinen and Wotherspoon. At 18:40, Draisaitl scored from David and Bouchard. And then in overtime, at 2:18, Draisaitl scored from David and Bouchard. I would have preferred it they both lost, but if one had to win, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I hate them both. But okay, Florida and New Jersey. So in the first period, at 2:54, Nick Cousins scores from Matthew Tkachuk. At 6:30, Rodriguez scores from Tkachuk and Bennett on the power play. 11:45, Jack Hughes scores from Jester Bratt and Luke Hughes on the power play. Second period, Timo Meier scores at 11:01 unassisted. At 12:37 the second, Listerine scores from Kulikov and Ekman Larsson from Quebec. Third period, Nick Cousins would score at 5:33 from Gustav Forsling and Matthew Tkachuk. At 11:16, Colin Miller would score from Jester Bratt and Jack Hughes. And then in 19:52, guess who? Sam Reinhart scores from Ekblad into the empty net. Florida takes it 5-3. Blue Jackets and Penguins. So in the first period, we had Jesse Puljujärvi scoring from Ryan Graves at 13:33. Evgeny Malkin would extend the lead for the Penguins at 18:57 the first from Riley Smith and Ryan Graves. Second period, Johnny Gaudreau would score from Roslovic and Orensky at 4:31. At 5:28, Andrew Peeke would score from Jake Mann and Alex Texier. Ricardo Kell gave the Penguins back the lead at 14:32 the second unassisted on the power play. Roslovic would tie it up again in the third at 8:04 from Peake shorthanded. Ricardo would give the Penguins back the lead from Benstrom and Smith on the power play at 8:26 for the third. And then Riley Smith would score from Malkin at 9:53. The Penguins take that one 5-3. And then my favorite game of the night. Vancouver and LA. Kind of a stinker last game, but this game, I flipped the script. First period, 10:54, Trevor Moore scores from Philip Danault off a miscue in front. Second period, at 16:36, Pettersson gets his 30th of the year from Hoaglander and Hughes. Third period, there's no scoring, and then in overtime at 1:36, JT Miller and Brock Besser. JT Miller scores from Brock Besser and Quinn Hughes on delayed penalty. Very playoff type game for the Canucks. Just grinded it out, and made me happy in that one. Anyways, that's it for March 5th. So I'll watch what I can tonight. Get back to you with a review of those games tomorrow. So hit like if you liked it, subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.